Hi, welcome to LeetCode. So in this video, we'll discuss LeetCode problem 3433. Count mentions per user. So the problem states that you are given an integer number of users representing the total number of users and an array events of size n cross 3. So n is the total number of users represent the total number of users and an array of events that actually represent n cross 3. So what actually it can contain? So each events I can be either of the following two types. One type is the message event, another is the offline event. So message event is first there will be n cross 3. So there will be three value. So first is the message, then the timestamp, then mention strings I. So if this is the message, first value is message, then this is message event. If this is the offline event, first string is offline, then this will be an offline event. So what actually message event actually it does that this event indicates that a set of users was mentioned in a message at timestamp I. So mention string I, string can contain one of the following token. So what token? One type is token is ID number. So like it will be ID 0, ID 10, this way. So this actually contain number of IDs. If this is in this way ID. So where number is an integer in range 0 to number of users minus 1, there can be multiple IDs separated by a single white space and may contain duplicates. So like 0 can be again, it can be repeated. So this will be counted twice. Index user 0 will be counted twice. So another type can be token is possible all. So this is mention all. So all user will be counted like mention once. And here means whatever the actually current user, those users that are currently online, that will be actually mentioned. Okay, so this is for message event. Another for the offline event. What actually can happen? So offline, the first message will be offline, then the timestamp and the ID 1. So this even indicates that the user ID I had become offline at timestamp I for 60 units. So suppose timestamp 10 and ID is suppose 9. So for ID, next it will be online at the time 10 plus 60 at the time 70. So at this time 70, it will be online again. So this user will automatically online again at the timestamp plus 60 time. Okay. So we have to return an array. Return an array mentions where mentions I represent the number of mentions the user with ID I has across all message events. So actually you have to check that how many times the user 0 have been mentioned, how many times user 1 have been mentioned in this way. We have to return that in an array and vector of length n for n user. So all users are initially online, and if a user goes offline or come back online, their status change is processed before handling any message event that occurs at the same timestamp. So if there are two event, one is the message, okay, that is suppose time 10, and suppose I have taken I have given some ID 0, ID 1 in this way, and another can be happen that offline or online. This is suppose offline. So this will be processed before offline. Suppose at timestamp is same. Suppose ID 10, I am saying that this will be goes to offline. Okay. Now they're saying that if this is a situation where the timestamp is same, 10, both the time is same. Now they're mentioning the offline will be process means whatever actually the online, whatever actually user actually goes offline or online, whatever actually possible, that will be processed before starting this message event. Got it? So if there is any time, so we have to somehow we have to sort this time, right, with respect to time. Means if there are any same time, I will check that the offline message or the offline event that will be actually occur first before message event. So I have to sort in this order. So this will be processed. If I iterate the event one by one, then it will be processed first offline, then I will process the message event. Now, so this is clear, this statement is clear. Now let's go to the example. So number of user actually 2. So all are actually online. So suppose I have taken one vector, it's indicating who those user which is online or offline. Okay, so initially all are online, mention that, and none of them actually not yet mentioned. This is the number of times the user has been mentioned. So first event is what? Message. Okay, so message is at the time 10 and the ID 1 and ID 0. So both will be actually mentioned, right? So this count will be increased by 1. So this will be now 1 and this will be now 1. Correct? Now next is again offline. Who is going to offline? The user index user 0. So this is currently offline. So this is actually currently false, right? And on which time it will be actually again online? So the time is, the corresponding time it will be online is 11 plus 60, it will be 71, right? Now next is message 71. Correct? Now you can see that this user 0, that actually currently offline, right? So this will be online at the time 71. So I will process first this as a true. Correct? This is current online. Then I will start processing this message. This processing means that this is message event and this is here. Here means they mention that whatever actually the user is online, that will be mentioned. So this user 0 is online, so I will increase by 1 frequency. So now frequency of this will be 2. Next is user 1, this is true, so this is also online, so the frequency of this also will be increased by 1. So this is current frequency of 2. Now ultimately I have processed all the events. So finally at the mention vector, this is stored as 2 2. So I return this. So now you can see that the answer is 2. Correct? Next example also you can check that. So there are 2 users. So initially all are online. All are online. Next is how many times this is actually mentioned. Initially all are 0. Correct? This is how many times this is mentioned. Now next, first message is message event. Time is 10 and index user index are 1 and 0. So both will be increased. It is online or offline, doesn't matter. So this will be increased by 1. This is also increased by 1. Right? Now next is offline. Offline means this user 0 will go to offline. So this is currently now offline, user 0, right? And on which time it will actually come back online? This will come back as a 71, right? 71. Now next message is message 12. So I'll check which actually user can come back to online again. So will this come back user 0? No, because the comeback time is 71, but my current time frame is 12. So this will not be offline till now. So okay, I've checked all the whatever actually user actually possible to come back again to online. So this is actually I've checked. Now I'll process all. So this is all means you can see that all means mention all user. So what I'll do, whatever the user actually I have, so this will be increased by 1, this will be also increased by 1. So ultimately I processed all the message, all the events. So ultimately I have written this mention vector, this is 2 2. So that's why again here also answer is 2 2. Got it? So first of all, what actually we need to store or we need to check. One is we have to check that who is online or offline. Okay. Another is how many times one user is mentioned. This is mention vector, and this is online vector to store which actually user is online or offline. Now another thing actually need, that is the time when it will come back again as online. So this time I have to store that for user ID, suppose ID, on which time it will actually come back. Got it? So this is clear. So what I will take three vector or two vector for online, one for online to store which is true or false, and this is actually mentioned like in his count. So it will be like int initially all are 0, and I will check one map that actually map that okay, this user will come back at this time. Got it? Clear? What actually need? Now what will do? They mention one thing that I need sort. Like first of all, they have not mentioned that it will be the timestamp will be sorted or not. Like whatever the actual message I will get, that will be sorted or not. So first of all, that is not clear. So I have to sort the events vector, on which condition I have to sort? First condition is on timestamp, right? But they mention that if timestamp is same, then online I will handle that before processing any message event. I will check the this map that which actually time is less than the current time, so this will be now online now. This is actually okay. Online actually I can check before starting the message process, but for offline, which is going to offline, that will mention that will be processed before the message event. So I'll also sort that if this is an offline message event, so that will be before message event, right? Offline event will be processed before the message event. Clear? How actually, what is the condition on for sorting? Clear? Now go to the code, that will be easy to understand. So this is answer vector that actually mentioned initially. This is actually n size. N is the number of users actually I have. Initially it is 0, and initially they mentioned that all users are online. So n user, all are actually true. And another map to store that on which user when it will come back online again, the time. Okay. Now I am sorting this input vector. How actually I am sorting this? I will sort on the basis of condition that if the timestamp is not equal, then whatever the actual timestamp actually is smaller, that will be processed before the whatever the actually event that actually timestamp is greater, right? If the timestamp is equal, that time what I have to do? They mentioned that the offline event will be occur before the message event. So I'll check if the first event is offline and the second event is not offline or message. You can actually do that because there are only two type of actually event can happen. So if it is not offline or is a message event, then this will process before the A will process before B. Got it? This is clear how actually this I have handled this condition that offline will always happen before the message event. Now I have to again handle that online event will be also processed before the message event start. Alright. So that I have to handle that. So now I am iterating each event. So I'll get three things. One is the first, it will indicate the type, the message event or the offline event. So that I'll get from the 0 index. And another I will get the timestamp at the index 1. I'll get the timestamp. Right? Both actually have the timestamp. Now I'll check if this is the current event is the message type. What will do? I will check this can be type of these three. This can be one type of the IDs. Another can be all, or it can be here. Right? So I'll check that if it is message type. What will do? This is message type. So what will do? I will check that. First they mention that. First I have to handle that before message event start. We have to process all the online events also, right? Online. So I'll check that. I am iterating each user again. I0, I less than n. I'll check this is currently offline. Then the online of I user will be false, and I've checked that the map value, the timestamp that will be online, it will be again that is smaller than the current timestamp. Then it will be currently online. Clear? Means suppose I have mentioned that I'll come back at time 61 suppose, and currently my time is my current event time is 70. So this will be online, right? So that's why I'll check that 61 is less than equal to 70 or not. If it is less than equal to 70, then it will be now online. So I'll process that. So I'll actually mark this as a true, means currently this is online, this user. Okay. Now I'll check that I have handled those two situations. One for the offline will be offline event will be happen before message event. Another for online event will be happen before message event. Right. Now I have to handle that. If this is message event, then I have to check these three. So I'll check that the third string, it is all here or this IDs. So I'll check that if it is the current third string is all, then I have to do what I have to do. I don't have to check this is online or offline. I will increase the count of all the users. Right? So that's why I'm iterating I0, I less than n, I plus plus, and answer of I will be increased by 1 each user. Else if it is mentioned that this is here, this is here, then what will happen? Mention all online users. So if this is the current user is online, this is true, then only the frequency will be increased by 1. Got it? Else what will happen? This will be the first condition is will happen, the ID, then ID0, ID1 in this way. So what I will do? I actually just actually just separate the each index or each IDs with white space. They mention that this is single white space. So I'm just actually stream. I have used stream here. So I'm just actually creating each IDs. So how actually I get the ID? They mention that the string will be ID, then the user number. So the user number will be starting from index 2, 0, 1, 0 is for I, 1 for D, and 2 will be starting from the user number. So that's why I'm creating a substring of starting from index 2. Okay, then I will get the actual user number. So I'm just actually converting this into the integer, and then that will be actually increased by the frequency of that, the mention number of mention, that will be increased by 1. Now this also handle this situation that they mention that if there are duplicates can happen. So this even mention even the offline user. So if this is duplicate string, duplicate user index is present, they mention that will be counted twice. Suppose 0 is repeated twice, so this will be mentioned also increased by twice. So that's why here actually I'm not checking anything, this is actually duplicate or not. I'm just actually whenever I get any user index, I will actually just increase the frequency. Got it? Next will be what? Else is. Else is, this is an offline event, right? This is an offline event. So I've already handled the message event. Now this is offline event. So what did they mention? Mention that the timestamp and the ID. So I'll first find the user index. So I'll get from the index 2. Index 2 means 0 is the offline or message event. Second is for timestamp, and the next is the ID. So that's why I'll got from the user index from the I2. Got it? I mentioned in each event. So I'll got the user ID. Now I'll mark this user ID as a false. Got it? In the next, it will be online again at the time plus 60. So I am store this map. So how actually map help us here? So before actually message event, we just created checking this map that this actually online or not, right? This map actually helps me. So ultimately at the end return the answer vector. Got it? This is clear. If you like the experiments, please like the video, and I have shared this code link in the description. You can follow that. This is just a descriptive problem, nothing else. If you have any suggestion, you can comment on that. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.